Hello everybody, welcome to Ridgetop Dual Sport, and right now you're looking at the Tusk Waypoint rear tire of the TW200, and I just got them installed this past few days ago and decided to just go see what we can do on the test here. So that's the rear, of course, and over here we've got the front tread there, so you can see brand new, not even marked up yet. So what we're going to do to start out with is a test as far as the air pressure goes for the highway. So I've put it in at 24 pounds of pressure. I think it's down to probably 22 by now, and wanted to see how it was going to do. So let's see how it does on the highway. I've not balanced these tires. I did line up the yellow dot with the valve stems to see if that helps or not. So for all I know, this thing's going to be wobbling all over, but I guess we'll find out. I'm running out of time to ride. Work has been just absolutely eating up the time, but the other thing is I've got a pretty extensive surgery I got to deal with coming up here pretty soon, and I won't be able to get on a bike for probably 3 or 4 weeks. I was told you don't want to do anything to cause those bones to move around. This is just a stupid thing. I've got an infection that's running all through my face, and they don't know, you know, what to be done about it other than surgery. So other than that, ride seems fine. Like I said, they balanced out okay, and definitely buzzing along here. You know, I need to point out, I am not a trail ripper. I got a T-dub for a reason. So you're getting this from a perspective of somebody that just wants to wander trails and look around and enjoy the scenery. So, you know, I'm not ultra slow, but I'm definitely not pushing this bike to the max by any means. So definitely coming from the perspective of a trail rider. Handling rock's okay at 20-something pounds, no problem. I'm gripping fine. These rocks are well polished off from side-by-side tires over the years, and yeah, we're getting it. There's an obstacle. Yeah, it's definitely with that much pressure though. I can feel the stiffness in it, but we're still hooking up. We're not having any problems with it at all. I'm thinking maybe go a little bit longer before dropping the air just for entertainment value. I mean, the tires feel relatively planted. I'm not, other than that sand test, which I didn't really care for this pressure. On this stuff, which is a mixture of really baby heads, loose rock, sand here and there, 22 pounds, I'm cruising right over it, no problem. I mean, I'm feeling the jolt. You know, they're definitely inflated hard, but yeah, no problem. What do we got going here? Got the creek. Wet rock test. No problem. Okay, a little slippery there. Hi, doggy. Oh boy, you're a hot doggy. Where's your owner, huh? Evan, my motor just stalled. What are you doing, buddy? You okay? Hi. Hi, how are you? Where'd you come from, huh? You just out on an adventure here? Okay, well, hopefully there's somebody up there. These owners, hopefully are up there somewhere. Definitely on the scent of something. Okay, well, we're gonna have to say goodbye for now. There he goes. Well, he's definitely got water. Boy, he's fast too. Water crossing was good. Whoa, go doggy. It's a little hot to be running. Can't really tell in here much of a difference between it and the Shinko. You know, it's a little off camber test here. And I'm not sliding down the hill. Tiny bit of mud. I don't know where the dog went. Oh, there he is. Where's he going? Boy, I sure hope he knows his way around here. That guy is on a mission. He's gonna give himself a heart attack in this heat. Here, I purposely go through the rougher stuff here. Oh, okay. Yeah, there. There's where the extra pressure definitely kicked in. Oof. Yeah, I could feel the... Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it now. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a test. This is not quite straight up, but it's a lot steeper than it looks in the camera. So let's see how we do. How it hooks up beautifully. And this stuff is loose. Oh yeah, no problem at all. And like I said, that stuff is some seriously loose stuff back there and nice and steep. Let's see, another really messy climb here. Let's see what we can do. Woo! Front end came up. The tires gripped that rock and away I went. Oh, not a problem though, we made it. Made me jump. Oh, crazy. Oh, didn't expect water there. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and let some air out. So far so good. Scared myself a couple times with doing dumb things, but they seem to be doing great. Like I said, I'm still not convinced on the front. The rear seems to definitely be an improvement from what I'm seeing here. But so okay, well, let's do some air. Okay, well, just reduced the air down to 10 pounds, the front and rear. So let's see how these guys do now. And hopefully it'll be a little less bouncing into the air. I just realized after actually putting an air gauge on it, I had 27 pounds in the back and 24.5 in the front. So that back was definitely running pretty darn hard. But anyway, we'll go ahead and see what we can do at 10 pounds now. Well, before we get going, here's a Nevada spring. Water is life around here. I just scared a bunch of quail into the trees. Everything else has been stomped by the wild horses. But one of the few springs around here. So that was a quick check on that, right? Okay. See how the lower pressure does here. I can tell you right now, it feels better. Just going these little bit of bounces down this little hill here. Dropping these down to 10 pounds has made a big difference. You can really feel it. Which way? I don't know. This way? I also don't know where I'm going. But yeah, definitely a big difference. You can't run these at high pressure off-road unless you really want to ricochet off everything. Boy, feels so much better. So much riding out here, I don't even know where to go. We got pretty limited time, so it's kind of like, where am I going to go out here? Guess we'll head up to Virginia City and try out the roads up there. I see the tracks going up the side of the mountain. I wish I could ride that kind of stuff. Boy, somebody brought a blade in here, but they actually, I think, made it worse. Shattered that rock good. Oh. I know a lot of people are probably going to jump on these just to try them out, and I don't blame them. I mean, something different, right? That's pretty much what got my attention. Was, hey, I just want to try something different. Let's go. I know the Bradleys are coming out, but I thought, well, these came. They were kind of popping up in all the different T-Dub Facebook sites and stuff. So I thought, oh, let's take a look. Let's see what we can do here. Got them last week. But again, not too bad to install. Got them on there. I do still think the front's a heavier feeling. I don't know how to explain it. I got so used to the nimbleness or light feeling of that 241 Shinko. And this guy here just seems a little heavier steering, but it's hard to pinpoint or put my finger on it. Probably need some more miles. This is really rough stuff, and it's having no problems whatsoever. It's grip and everything. Grip's definitely not an issue, at least so far. I haven't felt the front trying to give out, especially now that it's down to a better pressure. Way better than 24 pounds. Tires and handling are so subjective based on the rider ability, etc. And I am anything but a really good rider. I just like going out on these rough trails and seeing what I can do. But I'm not fast. But this stuff is pretty atrocious, for lack of a better word. And it's going right up through it. Here, we'll cross into this worst side here. Both sides are stink. But look at this loose stuff. Let's really push it through some loose garbage. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oof. It's doing it. No problem. Knocking me around a little, but I think that's more the T-Dub suspension and the fact I'm sitting down. Maybe we stand up. I'm guessing it's not gonna. Yeah. Not near as bad. Yep. Yeah, it's tearing right through this stuff. Like I said, this is steep, amazingly loose rock. And I'm trying to get some of the worst stuff I can ride in here. These things are like golf balls, softballs. Yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. Right through them. Yeah, there's Mount McClellan, or McClellan Peak, whatever they call it. I need to get back up there. Looking out over the Pine Nut Range in front of us. But, oh yeah, I'm not. I can't say I'm not. I don't know if I'd call it impressed. I mean, I kind of assumed that the tires would hook up nicely in this stuff, and I assumed correctly. Again, 10 pounds of pressure seems to be there's a really good test. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, 10 pounds of pressure seems to be, so far, kind of a sweet spot. Originally, I was thinking maybe drop it down to 8 pounds or something, but see how our time goes here. Off-camber test. Other than my riding, it held fine. Oops. Oh. Like I said, the limitation seems to be more me than the tires. Oh, so good. Well, the one thing I haven't done today is done any serious hill climbs. You know, we earlier did a couple of the shorter ones, hooked up fine, and that was with 27 pounds of air in the back. So I'm guessing it'll do perfectly fine at 10. You know, it's always hard to try to find the perfect desert tire. I really like the way those Bradley Performance heavier tread tires look, but you know, they're aggressive as all get out. But the issue I've got is I do like to do quite a bit of pavement too, just when I'm doing my exploring. So something that aggressive, which I've got the Kinda Trackmaster 2s on my KLX, and it kind of mirrors the Bradleys as far as the looks. It eats them up fast on that pavement. I go through a lot of tires, so I think that that was just a little too aggressive for me. And I know Bradley, I've heard, is working on a more sort of 70-30 tire right now, like these. But for what I'm doing right now, these actually seem pretty darn good. I haven't had any complaints on them other than the sand when they were really high up in pressure there. And I don't have any sand in front of me, unfortunately, where I can test them with this lower pressure. But as a general purpose, sort of just all around, all around desert tire, I don't think these are going to be bad at all. I don't plan on changing them out. I don't want to put my Shinko back on. I'd have 50% tread anyway. But I mean, this stuff, you know, I'm definitely not ripping it, but geez, it's not having any issues at all. It hasn't slid out in anything. It's bounding over all this stuff, no problem. I mean, I personally at this point would recommend the rear over the stock. I'm pretty sure it's hooking up better. It just feels better. I haven't pushed it into the extreme stuff, and we'll definitely do some tests with more extreme type of riding. And I got, you know, if I can somehow slip something in before my surgery, but just for this general purpose desert riding, you know, medium to difficult, you know, a little slightly difficult, you know, stuff that's going to push you just a little bit, you know, not a problem at all. I mean, it is just cruising it. So yeah, I would recommend probably the rear for sure if you're not going super, super aggressive or you need something like that Bradley tire, but this definitely feels like an improvement over stock on the rear. The front, it's good. I mean, from what I can tell, it's a good grip and that kind of stuff. Again, haven't pushed it to the extreme limit yet, but doing pretty good. So now we're going to go test out these tires on very steep, windy road here. Lots and lots of twisties, and with only 10 pounds of air. So we'll go see how they hold up. I kind of want to get home, getting hungry. I know the wife's waiting for me. So, fuzzy animal on the road. He didn't look so good though. But anyway, let's see if we can get back and see how 10 pounds of air does. Well, my initial impression with the 10 pounds of air in these, add air, definitely. They're not rolling or anything like that, but it felt much more comfortable with higher pressure in these. So I would definitely say for cutting these twisties like this, I think I'd jack it up to about 18 pounds, maybe 20. I was definitely overpressured before, but yeah, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels too soft going into the turns. Worse than my Shinko 241. The biggest thing is the knobbies on here are a lot bigger too. So I can imagine, as stiff as this compound is, and it is stiff, I think that I think it's definitely flexing enough. So that's probably definitely affecting it too. But I think that 10 pounds of pressure is the key. It just feels soft, even more so than the stock tires. I mean, I always ran 10 to 12 in the stock tires, so I'm kind of surprised. Again, maybe it's just me too, so watch out, quails. Quails. Whoa, jeez. Okay, I don't want to kill animals, but they're kind of on a mission to get under my tires here. Yikes. Yeah, I'm cornering it. I'm not a big corner person, but I'm trying to push it a little bit, and I feel that 10 pounds. It's gripping fine. Don't get me wrong. It's doing its job, but yeah, I would definitely have to come back up here with more pressure, do some tests on it. So as we cruise back down in the Reno here, a lot more twisties ahead. I'm just going to give my sort of early verdict on these. This is my analysis of about 20 miles of off-road and about another 30 miles of on-road and twisties on pavement here. So I'm not sure on the front. I have nothing negative to say about it. I'm just not sure if I needed it, I guess would be the word. Is it any better? I can't tell. I think I'm going to have to get quite a few more miles on it to find out. But I would say probably with the proper air pressure, it's probably a better on-street tread maybe than the Shinko 241, but even that's hard to say because honestly, that crazy little tire hooked up to everything. The front tire in the rough stuff, no problem at all, especially once I got the pressure down to 10 pounds. It was actually doing somewhat decent at 24 pounds. It was definitely getting, through the stuff, but it was bouncing bad. But yeah, so the front, okay, kind of a little bit up in the air. The rear, I'd say definitely a step above stock. I'm almost convinced pretty quick on that. It's gripping better, it's handling the loose stuff better, it's getting up through the rough rocks better. It just has a much better feel. I would say it's only a little bit more aggressive though. I mean, it's not a Bradley Performance tire, but in the rough stuff it did very well, especially at 10 pounds. At 27 pounds, it was knocking me into the air. It was just way too hard, but down at 10 pounds, no problem. It was sand, gravel, rocks, big rocks, little rocks, didn't matter. Of course, I didn't take it up anything extremely, extremely steep. I did that one short climb and it did great, but I could definitely use more testing there. On pavement, the rear is fine. On the highway when I was doing it at 27 pounds, it was just gliding along. And honestly, I felt like it was faster than the stock, but it could be just the pressure on there. On the pavement on these twisties, it's holding up fine. I don't feel it moving as much as the front is at 10 pounds. It's definitely soft feeling. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I know I've got 10 pounds in here versus 20 or 22. Definitely, if I was going to do a longer road ride, I would, inflate them to the proper pressure, without a doubt. But they're handling this fine. So on the highway again, 27 pounds, it was just cruising. So I guess my verdict is, I think the rear tire definitely worth the investment. Okay, so there we go. Definitely worth the investment, based again on the short riding I've done. The front, if you have a Shinko 241, if you have a one of the different brands of more aggressive Navis, I think it's going to be more subjective to the type of riding you do. I think this one will be perfectly fine in almost any desert condition. The lugs are far enough apart, you'd probably be okay in some types of mud. I definitely need to test it out more in the sand, but yeah, so there's my verdict. The rear, definitely, if you want an upgrade, it's worth the money. The front, subjective. So, let's put it this way. It is far, far better than the stock. It didn't slide sideways out in sand or anything like that. It's far, far better in stock. But if you have something else on there and you're happy with it, I wouldn't bother. I don't think there's a need to. I think you should have on that front tire whatever you think is best for you. But if you are just replacing stock front and rear, don't hesitate. Just order the pair, put them on. They're a little stiff, so small bites when you go to install them, just a little bit at a time. Lots and lots of tire lube. I used Ruglide, but there's lots of other options. I mean, even soap and water out there. Don't forget to put some powder on the inside of the tire for your tube. But other than that, yeah, go and buy them. Definitely replace the stock. So as time goes on and I get more miles, I'll be talking more about these. But like I said, right now I'm whipping down this hill at the speed limit, and they're doing great. And you can see twisty, twisty, twisty. So thank you everybody for watching Ridgetop Dual Sport. I know I'm not the most professional channel in the world, but I just truly thank you for watching, and I hope all of you are getting out there and riding. And hopefully after my surgery I'll get more in. I still really want to do that camping, and I haven't had a chance to do that yet, so still planning on doing that. But everybody take care out there and just have a fantastic week.